There we go, everybody. Apologies. Crazy start this morning. We're expecting Dr. Whitfield into the hangout. We've got Lou with me this morning. Yesterday was an insane day. Sorry about that weird start. I have no idea what was going on there. I'm watching three things at once. It's Iowa Day. This is the day. I didn't sleep that well. I don't know about anybody else. Lou, you said you were up doing crazy stuff last night, calling people, seeing what we could do at last minute. I have a ton of stuff we're going to talk about today. A lot of things going on. Let's say hi to everybody right now. Thank you for joining us, everybody, this morning. Who do we have in chat? Manny, Wiz, Robin Morris, Bad Wolf, Jay Atkinson, Dutch, Ed Thompson, Ski Vermont, Rick, and Nico. Hi, Nico. Thank you for being in chat. We've got some tools there. Nico's helping out with the monetization. Yes, I am still really wacky, tired, crazy. And thank you, Nico. Yes, sound was muted. But slept like shit. Yes, me too, Rick. Me too. Hey, yeah, the reason I had a couple of reasons I slept like shit. Stepson is out here from Colorado, and it's great that he's visiting. Love that he's visiting, but it's not the most wonderful of reasons why. And my wife and he had to go deal with some stuff, and there's a lot of stuff going on. And then the wife today had to get on a plane. She had to leave at 3:00 in the morning to go to Kansas and do some things. And so we just have all sorts of stuff going on. And I woke up at like 4 and was like, man, how can you sleep today? How can you sleep today? How can anybody sleep today? We're sleep. Today is going to be a historic day. And I have all sorts of video stuff to look at, all sorts of articles to talk about. Cynical girl, I did not forget you. I just saw you. I see you with your tool. Hi there, your wrench. Hi, Juliet. Hi, Michael Hagar. Alex. Dio Frater. Aaron. Wow, lots of people. Kristen, hey, Morgan, all these people. Damn, we got lots of people today. So what we're gonna do, really, really cool stuff. First, let's get through the basics. Let's look at the slides. Where's my slides? Let's get to the slides and remember what's going on today, folks, because our goal on the web is to encourage Iowa to rise, go caucus, and show Hillary and O'Malley that Iowa really stands for Bernie. We are Bernie strong together, and that's what we're doing today. It's going to be a landslide. They know it's going to be a landslide. They're already planning for the loss. We've seen articles about this. We've seen reports about this. We have verified information stating, look, here's what we're going to do. Right? It's ridiculous, the tactics that are being employed at this point, because the people have made a choice, and the establishment is not interested in that choice. And I've got some footage from JFK that's going to blow your mind about healthcare. We're going to talk about the Google Doodle today, Frederick Douglass, the beginning of Black History Month. And thank you, Google, for helping me with my ignorance. I learned an awful lot really fast from the Google Doodle. And we're going to share some of that because it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind what Frederick Douglass is going to teach you today about the American people and how badass we are. Because he was a badass. And we're going to look at that. But here, we got to remember this. And Lou, if there's any other hashtags, because you seem to be much closer to the heartbeat of what's going on there in Iowa. But this is what I know so far, is that we need to follow these Twitter accounts. Hector Segala, Aiden King, and Bernie Sanders, of course. And we're working on the hashtag Bernie Strong and Not Me Us. Anything else we got to know about that, Lou?
Quite honestly, we're still pushing Bernie Strong, still pushing Not Me Us, hashtag Iowa Caucus, hashtag We Are Bernie. Those are all going out on Twitter. There's a lot of stuff blowing up in a lot of different directions. The plans have not changed. It's still the same. Get your asses there. 6 o'clock, 6:30, they start getting down the line. 7 o'clock, they lock the doors.
Right.
Newsflash I'm just hearing, though, is that some caucuses are prepared, and all caucuses can have children at them, but some caucuses are starting to try to prepare to do at site, for lack of a better term, child help. so that folks can, if you don't have a babysitter, if you're a single mother that can't afford to, pay for that daycare plan, and you don't know where to take your little kid's hand, bring them with you to the show, because tonight is something huge. And I'm not going to insult Bernie by trying to freaking attempt to imitate him or Larry David. Back to you, John.
Awesome. Thank you, Lou. Thank you. I completely forgot to, that's good information to know. So we're pushing all those hashtags, please, as much as you can today. This is a call out to the world. We have more than 100 viewers right now already watching, 151 playbacks. Thank you all for joining us today. I have Lou with me, and I have Aniko and some other great people on the BTV team. And of course, all of you in the audience are part of the BTV team, but we really are running on a skeleton crew here today because everybody is doing what they need to do as part of the ground game. Because the ground game is what counts right now. Janine, oh, by the way, good news from Janine. She says they have all of the signatures they need. Bernie will be on the ballot in Rhode Island. She got her 2,500 signatures. They've got some things to do in the next couple of days, but she will be back pushing with us with here, helping me coordinate things, because really without Janine helping me find streams, I need you guys. I need you guys to help me figure out where they're coming from. All day today, I have no idea where we're going to find streams. Scott may end up with one somewhere. The Sanders campaign proper may put one up on their channel. We never know. And it's this is, so I need your guys' help. If you find anything going on with Caucus today, and if you're there in Iowa, please, if you're there in Iowa, send us your videos. Please shoot clips of what's going on at the Caucus location. Send us your pictures. Hashtag them with these hashtags, Bernie Strong and Not Me Us and Iowa Caucus, and send them. So get them out on the web so that we can find this. We can share with the world and show them what's really going on. Because I guarantee you what's going to happen is we're going to pile into these places mass amounts, thousands upon thousands of people for Bernie. And mainstream media is going to do everything they can to hide this from the rest of the public. They do not want the rest of the public to see just how massive, just how strong we are, and they are going to do what they can to hide it from us. We're going to look at this. Lou?
Can I jump in? Yeah,
yes,
I'm going to jump in real quick. Hey, first off, to all the wrenches swinging your Bern hammers, I'm not going to be in there helping you today. Thank you very much. And that goes especially for Cynical Girl that came up, I'm pretty sure, with the Bern hammer instead of the band hammer thing. Also, yeah, we're going to be pushing out as images, videos, that kind of thing. But to the folks listening all day, let's just remind you right now, if you trying to send us some kind of commercialized stream, we're not going to be able to do a darn thing with it. So please don't yell at us that, oh, he's on CNN, or oh, he's on this, or oh, he's on that. We can't do anything with that, or this number 5 will go down as well. And we are not trying to have this go down today on V-Day, Victory Day in the Iowa caucuses. Let's get her done. Back to you, John.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's a good note. We appreciate everything that you guys send us, but we can't use mainstream media. There's even a great parody that I think you dropped in earlier, Lou, that all out of options, right? Or straight out of options.
Straight out of options.
They've got it monetized in a way that ruined our stream the other day, which we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this with the stream. I apologize so much for what happened yesterday with the Waterloo broadcast. And there were some people that were complaining on social, and damn, you had every right to. I screwed up. What happened was I didn't end the event. The Waterloo event started on YouTube, but I wasn't streaming to that event. And so YouTube basically lost. I don't even know where it is. It's gone. All of that content, that Waterloo is gone. Now, the good news is we may have lost the conversation on YouTube, and I apologize for that. I can't ever get that back, but I have uploaded our version of it because I had it stored locally, and it was on C-SPAN. All right, and we're going to look at a clip from that today, but the Waterloo event was on C-SPAN, and this is something that brings us to the streaming. Where do our streams come from? We can take stream from C-SPAN because we can, because that's sort of owned by us in this weird ass way. Anyway, C-SPAN doesn't mess with us, so we can take great feeds from C-SPAN, and you will see that C-SPAN is going to show much more Bernie now. All right, they've already started to do more Bernie, and they have a great system there. If you want to help us out with that, you can create an account with C-SPAN if you guys have access and break out some clips. You don't, if you guys have accounts. That's what we do, is I break out clips if I can. We're going to run a clip from Dr. Whitfield from yesterday. But I apologize for that. It's my fault for not shutting off the event and starting the new event. We just kind of ran through. And so we'll just have to remember that next time. Right now, there's no event besides this. I'll create one more at noon, and we'll just kind of run with that unless I'm told that there's something else specifically happening. So I apologize to everybody for that, but it is available. It's out there. I pushed out the link. That's what's going on there. So we can take from C-SPAN. We can take from people that are kind enough to record the footage and not monetize it in a way on YouTube that screws us. And I honestly don't know what to tell you about that, because I don't have access to see that, because I don't monetize the channel. And I'm not at a partner level to really know what the options are. But apparently, there are different ways to monetize, and I don't really want to get into a discussion with it. But if you're going to film Bernie, like this guy named Werner Elmker, who's a professional artist, photographer, videographer, and he sent me a footage, 38 minutes of Bernie in Fairfield, Iowa. It's beautiful footage. It's got a great camera angle. And it's not monetized. Thank you very much, Bernard. I haven't used it on the program yet, but I probably will today. And I need to get the rundown dropped in there. That's something else I haven't even done, guys, is drop you all of the links to all of this stuff. So I'm going to have to rely on Lou and the team in chat and Slack to help me kind of pass links back and forth until I can get that rundown information dropped in. But that's how you guys can help us, and we can help you with that. But people like Werner Elmker are great. TYT, the Young Turks, they monetize, but that's okay, right? They do it in a way that it just runs, right? There's this difference. Like when TYT monetizes, it just plays. When I ran this straight out of options clip, it literally stopped our stream. And I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if that's like they stopped that until the guy who owns the monetization can click a button to say it's okay or what. But I can't do that. I can't interrupt our stream because your video is monetized. So I'm just not going to play that shit anymore. So people like Werner, we can take stream from. Anything that comes from the Bernie Sanders official website, more than likely coming through a piece of gear that you guys help provide them. So if it's on, not website, I'm sorry, on the their YouTube channel. So if there's a live stream coming from their YouTube channel, we can of course use that all the time. And so to answer people's questions who want to know why I can't just talk to them and maybe get their stream, believe me, when they have a stream, there's a reason. You guys are the reason, okay? We're in a war, folks. We are in an actual war against the establishment. This is this morning I was thinking about the impact of Bernie Sanders. The impact. He's made a global impact. He brings people to tears. Everybody. I've seen Lou cry. I've cried. Susan Sarandon was crying when she introduced him today. Everybody is full of emotion and passion because this guy brought it out in us. He stood up. That's the whole point of today, Iowa, is to stand up.
Stand up.
And
I'm just gonna jump in there.
Please.
When John talks about a world thing, this is a world thing. It's really kind of almost odd to see in social media, not just Americans or Iowans or New Hampshireans or New Hampshireites, maybe I'm saying that wrong, South Carolinians, Nevadans, worrying about politics right now. There are countries that are doing Facebook groups, Sweden for Bernie, England for Bernie, Canada for Bernie, and they help. They know they can't pay, donate, they can't do anything, but they can phone bank, and they're organizing this in other countries to help out Bernie Sanders. We have people here on Bernie 2016 TV that literally, as it's daytime for us, it is the middle of the night for them, and they are still doing it. This really has become not just a presidential movement, but a human movement of once again taking back and reestablishing simple facts that no, we are in a country that folks should not be going to bed hungry. No, we are in a country that people should not be going bankrupt because their baby got sick.
Yeah.
This is beautiful, folks. Thanks every person that helps in all of this. Thank you all.
Yes. Thank you, Lou. Appreciate that. Really appreciate that. It's actually it leads into this clip. First, Amos Elroy, I'm going to show your helper. I should probably do that now. I apologize. We can't do that. I owe Amos Elroy this. Amos Elroy is a guy who wrote a nice article that included stuff about us, Bernie 2016 TV, and it really helped us get some exposure. And he's a burner, and unfortunately, he had to go to Poland for a while, deal with some family stuff. But he pushed this in Facebook, and we will get the link to you. But if you Google it, that's not it. Where'd it go? Here it is. Okay, so there's a short link here that I will get to people. But this is here. Let's just do it right here. Lou, I'm going to grab this link. Everybody's going to watch this. And I'm just going to paste it right here in live production on chat. Here we go. Okay, so take that link. Get it out there to everybody.
Get it out there.
Take a look at this. What this is, folks, it's pretty cool. Iowans, if you have a printer, print this out. This is a kit that was created that can help you. The Bernie Caucus Persuasion Kit. This guy is a professional writer, and this was put together with some pretty talented people. And this really helps you win arguments. It gives you information about how the caucus goes and what you need to know. It's just a really, really cool document. And it's got several pages to it. So get that link out to people. But what's more beautiful about that, guys? Yeah, I guess when NBC is hosting a debate there on the 4th. What's more beautiful about that is the effort. It's incredible. That's Amos Elroy working from Poland with some people during a family thing, right? Got a family thing going on, but he's still thinking about Bernie while he's in Poland because he knows this is a world crisis. We are in a world crisis. We have to make a choice between the establishment world and a people world. I want a people world. This cover right here, folks, one of the most beautiful things. Steph, our artist from Belgium, who makes most of our covers and stays up all sorts of crazy, weird nights, he said the other day, "Here, John, this is the cover for when Bernie wins Iowa." It's just awesome. That is the difference. That is the difference right there. This is a movement of the people. And let's listen to, you want to get fired up, guys? Get fired up. Let's listen to, I don't know how many of you got to see. This was something I was going to play for Dr. Frantz. And this is really cool. For Black History Month, this is really cool because there's a really interesting tie here between Frederick Douglass, Google Doodle today, Cornell West, who we're going to hear right now. I'm going to play Dr. Cornell West, who fires you up about Bernie. And there's a point, I forget the words he says, but there's a point where I feel Cornell's passion and rage. It's just, it's emanating out of his body. And he says these words, "Not this time." And it just, for all the angst that I feel as a privileged white man in America, the angst that man must feel, holy shit. For all the anger that I feel, that man's anger must be exponentially and deservedly exponentially beyond mine. Frederick Douglass can't even comprehend. And we're going to read some things that happened to him. But the cool thing about what we're going to read about Frederick Douglass's history is we can put us right into that scenario. We're going to learn a lesson thanks to a Google Doodle about that. There's a great tie-in between Frederick Douglass, Cornell West, and our guest today, Dr. Frantz Whitfield. I just see this awesome lineage, great orators, and it's just a beautiful thing. I'm so honored. This is really cool. So if you guys didn't get a chance to see that concert, it was put up on the Bernie Sanders official channel. Beautiful footage, multiple cameras. We had no idea they were covering it. No idea. Man, this is being shaky again. What's going on with that? Guys, let me know on the other end if my camera's like stopping and stuttering here. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's listen to Cornell West.
Brothers and sisters of all colors in Iowa, are you ready to make history on Monday night? Are you ready for the rebirth of democracy, tired of Wall Street domination, ready for those? Yeah. Are you ready for those Sly Stone called everyday people and James Cleveland called ordinary people to be at the center of policy, center of vision? This is a new day in America as of Monday night. And it's nothing alien to America. This is the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. It's the legacy of Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel. It's the legacy of Dorothy Day, the legacy of Fannie Lou Hamer, the legacy of Grace Boggs, black, white, red, yellow, brown, all together, concerned about something bigger than us. This is not just a campaign, this is a moral and spiritual transformation of the nation, fundamentally committed to unarmed truth. The condition of truth is always to allow suffering to speak. It's about unapologetic love, and justice is what love looks like in public. So the Bernie Sanders campaign is an attempt to convince all of us to get on the love train, get on the justice train, keep track of the poor children of any color, working people of any color, gay brothers, lesbian sisters, bisexual, transgender of any color, elderly of any color. Always mindful of how the vicious legacy of white supremacy has been used to divide us. We won't allow it to do it this time. And we see it in our artists. Oh my God, from James Baldwin to Nina Simone to Bruce Springsteen to Gil Scott-Heron to Carole King. I want to introduce to you a group that stands in the tradition of musical expression rooted in something bigger than itself. My dear, beautiful brother Ezra and others, I'm talking about Vampire Weekend.
Okay. So, just gotta catch my breath here. And Nico, you caught the phrase. You caught one of the phrases. Justice is what love looks like in public. Get on the love train, everybody. It is the love train. We are going to turn this country into a love train instead of a war machine.
Get on. I don't know how anybody that literally does not acknowledge what this country is, what it was, what it can be. How you don't hear those words from Dr. West and the passion that he's speaking about and the struggles that have been for so long and are still in doubt if we're going to be able to get past them. But the fight, how do you not feel that? I really ask people that say, what the hell is he talking about? How do you not feel what he is discussing, which is uniting all of us, uniting people, not a silly color like this is Halo. It's not team blue or team red. That way's dead. It's unite purple. because it's the only way we can unite people. And that's what the hell needs to happen around here. Damn, that man. Whoa. Back to you, John.
Thank you, because I needed a minute to just. I saw somebody else say, I think it was DL Freighter, say, I've seen this 3 times and I still get chills. Yes, I feel the same way. If we didn't have these words, if I honestly, listen, the only way that I'm able to keep going right now is by sharing these moments with you guys, right? And by watching these speeches, because without these speeches, I got nothing left. I'm tired as fuck. And, you know, we're running ragged here. We're doing this. Everybody's running ragged, but it's the passion, it's the energy, it's the adrenaline, it's the knowing that this is it, folks. This is it. This is our one chance to do it right or die. Literally die. This planet's not going to survive an establishment government. It's not. Your children will not survive an establishment government. No one will. No one will. It's we have to stand up. We have to be Bernie strong. We have to be as strong as Cornell West. We have to be as strong as Frederick Douglass. Let's take a look at what that means. And yeah, Magnum DB, the sandstorm cometh. I would definitely pull it up. I would love to see Muse play. I would love to have the rights to play Muse. That would be great. That would be, yeah. Any of that stuff, that would be fantastic. Just on that real quick before we talk about Frederick Douglass, I get a lot of independent music, but there's this big divide between the professional celebrity world and the 99, because unfortunately the professional celebrity world still works with the establishment because they work for corporate-owned media and they get their paychecks from corporate-owned media. So at some point, they're going to have to separate from that. They're going to have to take a stand. That's why none of them talk to us at all. So I'm just going to make that statement. I'm not putting them down for it. They're just in a tough spot. That's my personal view on that. So here's if you haven't seen the Google Doodle, Frederick Douglass, and there's some interesting things to note about Frederick Douglass. 1, I think he has kind of Bernie-esque hair. Just going to go there. All right. 2, I think Cornell West has kind of Bernie-esque hair. So we'll go there. I really do. If you don't know about this guy, you are going to know now. As a white privileged man growing up in, here's comes Sean Porter in. So I grew up in Littleton, Colorado in the 80s, 70s and 80s, and I knew probably what everybody else did about Frederick Douglass that we get in our school books, which is that he was a black guy and he was a slave, and then he got educated and had a lot to say and wrote books, and I was really very ignorant about Frederick Douglass, other than I knew he was a great man, and he was looked on as a great man and an orator. I did not know he'd written an autobiography, but what I want to read here is I'm going to read the paragraph. So what happened is I went from the Google Doodle, which I dropped into this wiki page, and because Google has a learn all about Frederick Douglass, and then takes you to a Google search, and I just went to the wiki. All right. So and yeah, I love the fact that Bernie spoke at Liberty U. If you guys haven't seen the Liberty U broadcast, I think that is still up on one of our channels. Maybe not. I'm not sure at this point. I think Google pulled it down, actually. It's around. You can get the Liberty broadcast. It's amazing. That was another historic one. But back to Frederick Douglass. I'm going to read you this sentence. This gets tough, folks. Okay. Frederick Douglass's world was far harsher, far worse than the world we live in today, thanks to white privilege. So this is just from the opening paragraph, but here's what I want to read. Frederick Douglass was an African-American social reformer and New York and abolitionist, orator, writer, and statesman. After escaping from slavery in Maryland, he became a national leader of the abolitionist movement from Massachusetts and New York, gaining known for his dazzling oratory and incisive anti-slavery writings. He stood as a living counter. This is the important phrase. He stood as a living counter-example to slaveholders' arguments that slaves lacked the intellectual capacity to function as independent American citizens. Even many Northerners at the time found it hard to believe that such a great orator had once been a slave. Now, the fact that at this time, things aren't all that good for black people in America. They're not that good for black people in America today, but they were far worse at this time. And he stood alone and said, I don't believe you when you tell me that I cannot be educated, that I am not equal. I do not believe you, the establishment. Because it was the establishment's view at the time. All of the establishment's view. Even Northerners at the time found it hard to believe that such a great orator had once been a slave. The racism was hard. Okay? And he said, sorry guys, don't believe you. He stood, okay? Now, the JFK clip about healthcare is going to blow you away when he says what he says. But we're going to move on to the next slide because it gets even better. So here's narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass, an American slave. I am going to read this because I want to know his account of just reading the summary here. I'm going to read chapters 1 through 4. Here's what they have to say. Douglass begins by explaining that he does not know the date of his birth, February 3rd, 1818, and that his mother died when he was 7 years old. He has very few memories of her. Children were commonly separated from their mothers, only of the rare nighttime visit. He thinks his father is a white man, possibly his owner. At a very early age, he sees his Aunt Hester being whipped. Douglass details the cruel interaction that occurs between slaves and slave holders. This is where it gets important for the 99. Douglass details the cruel interaction that occurs between slaves and slave holders, as well as how slaves are supposed to behave in the presence of their masters. And that even when Douglass says that fear is what kept many slaves where they are, when they tell the truth, they are punished by their owners. This phrase, this is an important call to the 99, because we can replace slaves with citizens, and we can replace masters with establishment. And reread that sentence. Douglass details the cruel interaction that occurs between citizens and the establishment, as well as how citizens are supposed to behave in the presence of the establishment. And even when Douglass says that fear is what kept many of the citizens where they were, it's when they tell the truth that they are punished by the establishment. That's what's happening right now. And no, I am not trying at all to equate what Frederick Douglass and what African slaves went through at that time to what I, a white privileged man, is going through right now to try to elect Bernie Sanders. I'm not at all. What I'm saying is that the American people have a choice between listening to the establishment tell us you can't do that. You can't have $15 an hour wage. You can't have single-payer health care. You can't have free education. Who's saying that? Hillary Clinton. Who's saying that? Every other candidate but Bernie Sanders. There's only one person saying we can do whatever we want. One person who stood up like Frederick Douglass and said, we can do what we want. Yes, Lou.
I actually want to go a step further because it relates to the times of Frederick Douglass and those rights that were fought for in the early 1900s that not only did we have and we fought for, but somehow we've started losing and nobody really discusses. Yes, we can have unions represent us in jobs. Yes, we can have a set Social Security age instead of them keep messing with it. Yes, we should be able to have universal health care instead of folks being on Medicare and Medicaid having to worry about donut holes and loopholes and how much they got to pay on their prescriptions. These are all things that are possible. Yes, we can. We are Americans, not Americans. And somehow or another, the few people that try to rise up and wake up and tell people in mainstream media, a la Ed Schultz, a la Keith Olbermann, they both got canned. That's why Americans are fearful. Americans are fearful because even in the limelight, the folks that try to drag the truth into that light get canned and thrown off to the side. It's a silencing all around, trying to hold us all down to the ground, guys. And now we are rising up. Back to you, John.
Thank you. It's exactly what it is. Before I play the JFK clip that's going to blow your mind, I just want to take a look at chat. I want to see what everybody's talking. How are we doing today, everybody? What's going on? I think we're talking about the poll. We did see the new poll, the HuffPost pollster that shows Bernie 49, Hillary 46, I believe it is, in Iowa. We know what's going to happen, folks. We already know what's going to happen. Now, whatever dirty tricks the Hillary campaign is planning on, I don't think it's going to matter. I actually think that's going to fall apart. I really don't think a lot of people are going to do that. I'm going to count on the integrity of Iowans to not fall for those kind of dirty tricks, really. Lou, thanks for not, what? I love Lou's rants. Bad Wolf Time Lady loves rants.
I guess. I don't know. I just try to talk to folks. I honestly believe,
Hey,
it's time to start speaking the truth. It's no more lies. I'm a big Rage Against the Machine fan because I'm a little younger than you.
I like them too.
No more lies. Sell for nothing now. We'll sell for nothing later. That's when I first started doing this with you guys. That was the ringtone that cut in. You're like, what is that rap going on? That was my ringtone and my wife. Every day I wake up to settle for nothing now, then you settle for nothing later. Wake up, America. We have a choice. We settle or we fight. It's very clear. Settle for 12, fight for 15. Yep. Settle for okay, insurance, or fight for a right to universal health care. It's no clearer. It's no freaking clearer. JFK.
Yes, JFK. Sorry, no, I'm reading comments here, and somebody said they were Will Callhill. The Google Doodle of Frederick Douglass looked like a tan Donald Sutherland. I was offended. All right. If you go back and look at some of the images, that was pretty accurate, but understandable. Anyway, we're going to run this JFK clip, and thank you guys for being here. Yes, love Rage Against the Machine. I actually, you know what, Lou, I'm going to tell you something, because you were not in part of the group before at this time. So back when we had some different people in the group, and this was back, I think we still had Channel 2 functioning, and we had reached out to Tom Morello. We had reached out to his new brand, label, which I can't remember the name of, Firebrand or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but they were basically a political activist label. And we said we would love to carry your music. We would love to broadcast your music and put engagement broadcasting on it. We would love to use it for the political revolution. Crickets. Every single celebrity that we have reached out to, except for, no, they even left. There is not a single celebrity that has responded to us and said, yes, we would like to work with you. Come on. I'm not suggesting that I'm not suggesting that we are of any level of network notoriety or even notoriety of a place like TYT. I'm sure TYT, they get interviews. They show up and Susan Sarandon will talk to them. But Susan's hanging with the bunch. In general, people that have said, I'm for Bernie, we've reached out to them at all different levels, and they just don't talk to us, because if they're on any kind of a corporate payroll, a corporate media payroll, they risk losing that payroll. And it's the same thing it's the same thing when Bernie talks about politicians that have to jump ship from the Koch brothers to take a stand, right?
Paycheck politicians, paycheck voters, and unfortunately, that is part of the struggle. That's part of our struggle here in America. Is too many times, folks, even folks, working at the neighborhood 5 and dime, don't feel like they can stand up and have a voice. They don't have a choice,
right.
And that's all the way from the folks working down the street to the folks that quote unquote bring heat when they're behind a mic. They all have to respond to somebody else signing those checks, because there's only about 20 people in this country that are really signing everybody else's checks.
Right.
If you think about it in a big scale thing. So, I get it. I get it. Number one, you're right. We're doing our own thing, but you know, folks, I think they're turning. I think they're turning. The whole country's about to be burning. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. JFK. I see it. You got it all queued up. Like, Lou, shut up.
I do. No. I just want to make a statement before I piss off celebrities, because we're going off on them. And what I want to say is, look at the difference. I mean, the ones that are truly working the path are out there walking the block, right? I mean, I saw this last night. I want to make a comment because I see a couple comments here, and I want to talk about this. Yeah, celebrities are rich. Of course they are. Okay. Mark Foster and Mark Pontius of Foster the People are probably richer now. I mean, they're not super mega stars, but they're definitely got more money than they had 5 years ago, right? Okay. And somebody said, well, they're rich. Look at them. They're 1%, and they're out there with Bernie Sanders. They're playing a concert for free. And if you watched the concert the other night, Mark Foster said, yeah, we're going canvassing tomorrow. This guy is walking streets in Iowa. It's not like he showed up like John Bon Jovi, ripped a few tunes, got people to drop 25 or 27 grand to Hillary, and then left in a helicopter. This guy showed up with a acoustic guitar with a bunch of other musicians. It looked just like out of the 60s when we were protesting back then. And he says, hey, guys, I'm going to play a few tunes. I'm going to testify as to why I am for Bernie Sanders. And it was very heartfelt. It was very emotional. And he said, and tomorrow I'm going to be canvassing. And the day after that, I'm going to be canvassing. And I did some phone banking today. That's the difference to me. That's the difference. Okay? And I'm not trying to judge a celebrity here or there. What I'm trying to say is that celebrities are in a very tough space. They're in a very tough space. And so it's hard for all of us to make these choices. You got politicians in tough spaces. Celebrities are in tough spaces. Those of us doing this here, we're in tough spaces. Some of us have jobs. Some of us don't. Some of us are trying to work our jobs and do this, right? It's tough. Things are tough right now because our government, our establishment government, has not built us the nation we wanted. And we're going to fix that. Listen to what Kennedy has to say about the establishment and where people should fit within the government. This is going to blow your mind. This is like a healthcare forum, 1962, and listen to the crowd too. This will give you chills, folks. Let me put the audio on before you all tell me you can't hear shit. All right.
I come to New York because I believe the effort in which we're engaged is worth the time and effort of all of us. I come from Boston, Massachusetts, near Faneuil Hall, where for a whole period of years, meetings were held by interested citizens in order to lay the groundwork for American independence. And while there may be some who say that the business of government is so important that it should be confined to those who govern, in this free society of ours, the consent, and may I say the support of the citizens of this country is essential if this or any other piece of progressive legislation is going to be passed. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. Now, why are we here? What is the issue which divides and arouses so much concern? I will take a case which may be typical. A family which may be found in any part of the United States. The husband has worked hard for his life and he is retired. He might have been a clerk or a salesman or on the road or worked in a factory, stores or whatever. He's always wanted to pay his own way. He does not ask anyone to care for him. He wants to care for himself. He has raised his own family. He has educated them. His children are now on their own. He and his wife are drawing Social Security. It may run $75, $100, $125 in the higher brackets. Let's say it's $100. And he has a pension from where he worked, the results of years of effort. Now, therefore, his basic needs are taken care of. He owns his house. He has $2,500 or $3,000 in the bank. and then his wife gets sick. And we're all going to be in a hospital, 9 out of 10 of us, before we finally pass away, and particularly when we're over 65. Now she is sick, not just for a week, but for a long time. First goes the $2,500. That's gone. Next he mortgages his house, even though he may have some difficulty making the payments out of his Social Security. Then he goes to his children, who themselves are heavily burdened because they're paying for their house, and they're paying for their sicknesses, and they want to educate their children. Then their savings begin to go. This is not a rare case. I talked to a member of the Congress from my own state a week ago who told me he was going to send his daughter away to school, but because his father had been sick for 2 years, he could not do it. And Congressman, I pay $22,500 a year, and that's more than most people get. So therefore now, what is he going to do? His savings are gone, his children's savings, they're contributing, though they have responsibilities of their own, and he finally goes in and signs a petition saying he's broke and needs assistance. Now what do we say? We say that during his working years, he will contribute to Social Security as he has in the case of his retirement, $12 or $13 a month. When he becomes ill, or she becomes ill over a long period of time, he first pays $90 so that people will not abuse it. But then let's say he has a bill of $1,500. This bill does not, that we're talking about, Mr. Anderson's bill and Mr. King solve everything, but let's say it's $1,500, of which $1,000 are hospital bills. This bill will pay that $1,000 in hospital bill. And then I believe that he and the effort he makes in his family can meet his other responsibilities.
Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me, folks. That's just one clip. Pardon me while I adjust the audio here a bit. But the thing he said at the beginning is what I like the most. And I'm watching the chat here. I was watching the chat while you guys were going there. I did. Yeah, G.O. Frater, yeah, did you hear that? Congress gets paid $22,500 a year, which is more than most people make. Okay. That's pretty insane. I mean, that's, you know, and of course adjusted for inflation at the time, right? What they're getting paid today. But they didn't adjust your wages for the time. They adjusted theirs. Congress certainly gets paid more and more and more over the years. Not a lot, but it really doesn't matter because that's not where they make their money. Watching the chat here, folks, but he said a couple things here. Kennedy said a couple things. He said at the beginning, if you heard it, basically said there are people who think government should be done only by people who understand and know government. What does that sound like? That sounds like the establishment. It is the establishment. They just weren't quite the establishment they are today. They didn't have a stranglehold on the media. Corporations weren't infused because we didn't have Citizens United. Right? You know, I saw a lot of people say they assassinated Kennedy. I absolutely believe that they assassinated Kennedy because he was definitely trying to take this country into the future of a socialist democracy. Abso-freaking-lutely. And I think at the time, people took him out. I truly believe that. And I'm not going to suppose who, but yes, the establishment that was working underground was doing that. Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay? We need, this time it does, this time the people are going to rise regardless of what they try to do. But when Kennedy says, I think it's absolutely essential for the people to have a say in what the hell the government's doing. You don't need to be a government official to have a say. Yeah, that's kind of the way a democracy works, establishment. When you take away our voice, when you take away our ability to have a say, we get pissed, watch you run our country into the ground, and we're pissed. Everybody's pissed. I'm seeing that in here. Minorities are pissed. I'm pissed. Everybody's pissed. We're pissed. We're on the love train with Bernie because we all are together. We're pissed at you, establishment. We're pissed at you. We are peacefully going to kick your ass. It's basically what we're trying to say. We are going to use the political system to kick your ass out of our government, our government. Belongs to us. Belongs to us. Lou, you have any comments or things you want to say about that?
Yeah, I'll jump in. I bet you're trying to figure out how to slide or get somebody in.
You got to figure what to play next.
It's amazing. You know, the more things change, the more they stay the same. I personally, first off, the JFK thing just now, and then sorry for leaning in, folks. Kind of reminded me the other day. I saw Elizabeth Warren talking the same kind of thing, that we somehow go through this cycle of go up and then crash down, go up and crash down, go up and crash down in the financial markets. And I started thinking to myself, maybe that's also in the, in the people. Like, we think everything's good and we can handle it for so long, and then we start trudging along and the backs get a little hunched over because you just keep marching along because that's what we're supposed to do: eat, sleep, work, repeat. And after a while, we get tired of it. As a nation, we finally get tired of it. And it's only maybe once every 50, 60 years that happens. But it's been a little past due. And establishment, no offense to you guys, but you got a warning. You kind of got a warning a couple years ago that it was coming.
Yes. You did.
So this is where we're at, where a man stands up there and says it is time for a political revolution, a peaceful revolution. Lord, please be everything is love train, peaceful revolution. But it is time to take back.
Here comes Frantz.
Frantz.
That's what we're looking for.
Hey, I'm gonna shut up because I like this guy. I like to just listen to him personally.
All right. Well, now thank you. I was about to play. I was going to play his. Hey, Frantz. Everybody, Dr. Franz Whitfield is here. He introduced Bernie Sanders at Waterloo yesterday. The program that he lost. Hey. We're gonna what we're gonna do here, folks, is I gotta get Frantz settled in the back. Give me 1 minute here. Why don't we just push up this beautiful card? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna kill audio for a second. Hey, everybody. So what we're going to do here is Franz is driving, and just I don't want to interview him while he's driving. We don't have a good connection. He's actually on his way to another interview. This is how crazy things are, guys. Franz, we're going to play his clip from yesterday, and Franz, I hope you can hear me. We'll talk to you later, man. Do what you need to do. You're on the ground in Iowa, and it's certainly more important that you be on the ground speaking where you are than it is talking to us right now. We will talk to you another time. Franz. So I am going to mute you because it looks like we lost you anyway. What we're going to do is run the clip from yesterday. Franz introduced Bernie Sanders at the Waterloo event, and he's one of the first guys we had on our show. And when he has time and we have time, we've agreed to put together a show about Black America. And that's what we're going to do, and so I'm looking forward to that. But he's so crazy busy, like all of the surrogates. He's an official surrogate for the Bernie Sanders campaign. Let me grab his clip here and let's listen to what Frantz has to say. Of course, it's running here. Let's see. C-SPAN. You create this beautiful thing. Let's see here. All right. right here. Sorry, guys. Welcome to live. I told you this was going to be a little loose today. I got a couple people in the back helping me, but I really don't have the full crew that I would have. So bear with us today. We're going to do the same thing we did yesterday, folks. We're gonna run this show till, I don't know, maybe another 15 minutes or so. Play a couple more things for you. I need to take a break, go to the store, do some things, and then I will be back at noon, and we'll just go until we have news. We're just going to keep going. All right, and that's what we're going to do today. As soon as we hear from Iowa, we'll be here to support Iowa. We're here to push social media, do the hashtags. But right now, we are going to listen to Franz Whitfield introduce Bernie Sanders, Waterloo. This is courtesy of C-SPAN. We pushed this out, guys, so if you want to go find it, you can. Get an echo from somebody somewhere. I'm not sure where that's coming from. It might be you, Lou. Here we go, guys. This is C-SPAN. And of course, it's not going to play that way.
I have one question. Is there any Bernie supporters in here today? Well, I've got great news. Our president is in the building. My name is Dr. Franz Whitfield. I pastor Mount Carmel Baptist Church here in Waterloo, and I am a supporter. Hey. I'm a supporter of Senator Bernie Sanders for president, and I am one who has been supporting him for the past several months. Our nation faces unprecedented challenges. The middle class is in the midst of a 40-year decline. Nearly 1 in 3 children live in poverty. The top 1/10 of 1% owns almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%. Women earn just 78 cents for each dollar that a man makes, and black women, they earn much less. As a pastor, I have walked with women and men facing hardships that could have been avoided had we proactively sought new solutions instead of keeping the status quo. President John Fitzgerald Kennedy once said that change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future. These powerfully prophetic words spoken decades ago remind us now that we cannot continue to keep the same policies that we've had for years. We need a political revolution that's going to change our great country for the better. Senator Bernie Sanders is the only candidate that can make our hopes and dreams become a reality. No one who works 40 hours a week should be living in poverty. That's why Senator Sanders has committed to seeing that the minimum wage is raised to $15 an hour. Senator Sanders has pledged to create youth job programs, improving the lives for millions of disadvantaged young Americans. In the Senate, he introduced legislation that would invest $1 trillion in American jobs to fix our crumbling infrastructure. These policies and others like them represent a proactive, comprehensive approach to making all of our lives better. We are in a crisis, and we've got to do something about it right now. And so what I want to do is I want to challenge my fellow Americans to vote for the candidate with the strongest commitment to strengthening and growing the middle class, and Senator Bernie Sanders is that candidate. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you will please stand and receive the next President of the United States, Senator Bernie Sanders.
Hey, Frantz, you're with us again.
Yes, I'm back.
Well, we just ran your clip.
That was a good-looking guy that was just talking.
Well, what you didn't see is I screwed up halfway through it. I had your name underneath you the whole time, and then Janine's popped up for a second. So I apologize deeply. For a moment, you were Janine Calkin, but then you went back to you. So I apologize deeply.
Janine is always messing up something.
No, that was me, not Janine. Jesus, don't blame her. Please. It's all my fault. Everybody out there was just listening to that, and I don't know how much you caught of. Are you sure you're okay to talk with right now? You got a great signal coming through.
Yeah. I'm perfect. I'm perfect right now.
Okay, wonderful. Why don't you just tell us what you'd like to tell everybody out there about Iowa and what you want to tell everybody today? Go.
Wow. Well, today in Iowa is the moment of truth. This is the day that we have been waiting for. 5 or 6 months ago, the Bernie Sanders campaign was at a different view. At that time, we were very low in the polls. We were about 50 something points behind Hillary. And now at this point, we are virtually tied. We're a dead heat with Hillary Clinton. And the thing to realize about that is that it wasn't done all by Bernie Sanders. It was done by the people across this country. It was done by the people of Iowa who saw something in him. And because of that, we are where we are today. And that's been the hashtag that has been going around Twitter for the past several days. It's not me, but it's us. And that's what it's all about. This is something that helped President Barack Obama win in 2008, and this campaign is very, very similar to the campaign that President Obama ran, and we can do this today. All it takes is for us to get out to caucus today here in Iowa, and if we get out, we know we have the people. If we get out to caucus today, we're definitely going to win this caucus on tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for inspiring everybody today. I really appreciate that. That was fantastic. And your clip was great. Bernie said you pretty much gave his speech. You've got his stump speech down.
Yeah, he made fun of me in the back after the rally. So yeah, I had to do all I could in the short amount of time that I had to speak. So yeah, but the rally was great yesterday. We had a great time.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. I know you said you have another interview. What is your schedule today? Where all are you off to?
Well, pretty much after my interview today, I'll pretty much just be getting ready for the caucus. I'll be going down to the campaign office to do some phone banking, last minute phone calls, to get people to come out, and then we'll just be preparing for the caucus tonight. Need to be there at 6:30. So
Absolutely.
so it's going to be a busy day today. So we're looking to celebrate. I got my bottle of champagne ready.
Nice. What have you heard about any of the? Do you have time for a couple questions, or do you need to get inside?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, great. There's been some rumors, discussion of the Clinton campaign doing something to kind of rig the caucus and shift voters to O'Malley, take voters away from Bernie. Have you heard about this stuff? Do we even care? Are you worried about it?
Yeah, that I really don't care about that. That's not true.
Okay.
It just shows how scared the Clinton campaign is. But from what I've heard, it's already been stated by Martin O'Malley that if he's not the viable candidate on tonight, that he's asked his people to go and support Bernie Sanders. That's what I heard.
Really?
Yeah. So I just really, from the past several debates and seeing how Martin O'Malley jumped on Hillary, I really can't see Martin O'Malley throwing his support towards Hillary Clinton. I just can't see it. So I think they'll be coming to our side.
Very good point. Very good point. That's something everybody should remember, is that it doesn't matter what mainstream media is throwing at us, right, or whatever spin they're trying to put on the truth. We've heard the words out of Martin O'Malley, and if the people behind O'Malley value what he has to say and are really supportive of him, they're going to back where he is going. Right. That's really the truth.
Right, exactly. So, my encouragement to people is tonight when they get out the caucus, is to stand strong, make sure that you get there early, have some backbone, don't let anyone talk you into changing your mind.
Right.
Whatever people try to offer you to come to their side, firm on your support for Bernie Sanders, and we can do it. The thing to understand is that the youth vote, the young vote, is what's going to help Bernie get this victory on tonight. Just in Waterloo alone yesterday, majority of the crowd was young people, and these young people are excited. I was sitting there just looking at their faces and seeing their reaction to Bernie talking, and they were like mesmerized by what he had to say. And that's what's going to win this election, is these young people. Now, Hillary, she may have a lot of support, but people again don't realize that majority of her supporters are people 45 and older, and a lot of the older votes, those old people aren't going to come out tonight to go caucus. They're gonna stay in the house and drink their hot chocolate and watch Wheel of Fortune tonight. They're not gonna come out to caucus.
Well, I hope their grandkids show them YouTube so they can find out who Bernie Sanders is.
Exactly. So I think we're really going to be victorious tonight. Another thing that I want to press on is the fact that to anyone from Iowa who's watching, or after we leave Iowa, when we go to New Hampshire and the other states we go to, is that if you are 17 years old right now, and you're going to be 18 by election day, you can go to the caucus and caucus for Bernie Sanders. For any candidate who you choose. But if you're 18 by election day, general election day, you can go out and caucus. So make sure you spread the word, to any high school students or anything, that they can do that if they're going to be 18 by general election day.
That's really good to know. I had no idea. That is good information. Yeah. Thank you very much. I want to let you know the audience loves you, and when you mentioned that they're just going nuts over what you're saying. They're so excited to hear you say what you said about the O'Malley camp. And they want you to know that they have all sorts of things besides champagne, beer among others, to celebrate with you. So
exactly. I wish I can go by some of their houses tonight and party with them. I sure need it. So yeah, just stay strong tonight, and to any people from Iowa, and then like I said, even those who are in New Hampshire, if you're watching, you're getting ready for the New Hampshire primary. When you get there on caucus night or primary night or whatever you're doing, one of my favorite movies is The Godfather. So when you get there, when it comes to those candidates that's not viable, make them people an offer they can't refuse.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you very much, Frantz. That is awesome. Dr. Frantz Whitfield, everybody, you're going to go in and have another interview. You've got a long day ahead of you, sir. Thank you for being boots on the ground in Iowa for Bernie Sanders. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Feel the burn.
Feel the burn.
All right.
All right. We'll talk later, man. Dr. Franz. Oh, look, there's Sean, everybody. Just put him on screen. That was Dr. Franz Whitfield. It's freaking awesome. I love that. He just pops in. He's driving down the road. Let's have an interview. He's going to his next place. You know, this is the people's campaign, folks. This is I've never felt connected like this. We all feel connected. This is what the government has feared for so long, is that we would recognize that through the internet, through social media, through a little bit of technology, we can just be connected together. We've been connected on social for years. We've just been using it to tell dick jokes and show other memes and talk about cats and whatnot. And now it's time to organize so we can take back our government. And we are doing it. We are doing it today. And Iowa is going to plant the flag for Bernie Sanders on this nation. That is what I am excited about, is that I think it's going to be such a landslide. I know it's going to be such a landslide, right? I just know it's going to be. Sean, you're in here. You want to say anything?
Hey, well, I'm here and ready to go for the big day. I am excited, just like everyone else is, and I can't wait to show the rest of the doubters that, you know, this is the train to get on, because we're going all the way to the top. The love train, as we've been saying. All aboard.
Absolutely. And
let's not start singing some old, people over the world, join hands. You know what song I'm talking about.
Well, yeah.
Copyright.
Well, yeah, I don't know. That one, I don't know. I think that one could be used.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let's run that ad. Let's find out if it's copyrighted. Here, you don't want to see me.
What is that, the OJs?
Yes, it's the OJs, man.
The OJs.
People all over the world, join hands.
Oh, no, that's not what I was thinking. Okay, so here, we're going to let you guys watch Lou dance while I pull up the ad.
Oh, shit. Yeah, here's my Seinfeld Elaine moment. Criminies. Just threw me on the spot because Sean put the song in my head, and all of a sudden I'm like, it's Sunday morning, listening. Yes. But it's actually Monday morning, folks. That means it is February 1st. Holy shnikey, 17 days until I get older. Once again, happy belated birthday to our Commander-in-Chief here. John Etek is turned another year yesterday, but still is feeling the burn and up here. And as we turn through and look at Iowa tonight, the latest poll says that, yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Let's see it. Sean, what do you think?
The latest poll?
No, let's see how they do. I'm seeing a lot of folks saying I'm going to be there. Let's see it. Let's see it tonight. We're going to see it. All this talk, it's time for that to be over. Action. You know,
who's actually going to show up?
Yep. Well, yeah, and Frantz brought up some really good points there, guys. I've loaded this video by that's on Facebook, but Frantz said a couple things that we hadn't thought of. First, the O'Malley camp hopefully will have integrity and do what O'Malley would do. And O'Malley, pretty much on Bernie's side. Been echoing a lot of Bernie. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, O'Malley make an interesting Veep, although I'd rather see one of the many women that have stood up for Bernie Sanders in many roles within his government, and Veep would be a great place. I know there's a big argument about Warren and where she would fit, and we need her in the Senate and all that stuff. We need all sorts of Bernie-crats. Yes, we do. I'm seeing some comments here. I want to address some of the comments. It's really funny here. Where was it? Cynical girl, don't what was it? Don't corrupt your love of dick jokes. I won't at all. I just, what I really want to do is take dick jokes and dick pics out of the hand of politicians, right? I just want, they shouldn't be allowed. We need our politicians all capable of using their smartphones appropriately when they're in office. That's what I'm saying. There was a bunch of other comments in here that were great, and now, of course, I've lost them all because there's so many people here. 167 people plus viewing right now. That is freaking awesome. Lou, you were going to pipe in. What do you want to say?
I was just going to say, I pay attention to other candidates' account. You were talking about politicians and camera phones and private part pics, as I will put. Somebody got to run around with Hillary Clinton's Snapchat the other day. That's a joke in itself. You figure it out. That was hilarious.
Okay. I'm old. I don't get it. But I'll just leave it alone.
Sean. Sean sitting there. Snapchat is what Hillary Clinton had said earlier in the year in the campaign cycle, that she could take messages and they would delete on themselves, and she thought it was a joke about her servers. But to relate with the youth, she decided a couple days ago that I'm going to give my Snapchat account to Bill.
Oh, right. Yes.
Let the hilarity ensue on that thing. That's all I'll say. But
Yeah,
today's Bernie Love Train. I will shut up. Back to you, John.
All right. Thank you, Lou. We're going to run this clip that is by, who is this? This is a Stand By Me by Media Makers for Bernie. And it is the Stand By Me song, and hopefully we won't get slapped around for using it. I don't think they did, but it is on Facebook, so we'll see what happens here. This is a good ad, guys. I like this, so let's run this.
Has come.
Of course.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, stand by me, oh, stand by me, oh, stand by me, stand by me.
There we go, folks. And if you're wondering why it takes me forever to go from one screen to the next, it's because that was on Facebook, and Facebook videos are an absolute pain in the ass to deal with when you're one person. But it was a beautiful ad, and I really like that, and it doesn't look like we've been shut down yet for running that, so good. 164 plus 711 playbacks. Wow. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I see. I see. Lou's got his fingers crossed. A lot of people. I want to say this, guys. I need to address the influx of volunteers. I owe everybody a big, huge thank you, a big hug. That is everybody in comments, everybody that has sent me emails to info@Bernie2016TV. All of the comments that I have not addressed, that I have not even thumbed up, that I have not even responded to, at least I can't get to them. I got two choices. I can spend a day responding to everybody, or I can broadcast, and we can do this. And so we're doing this. The people that have sent me messages at the info email address, all of you, yes, I need your help. We need your help. Matter of fact, there was one guy, I don't know who it was. I think it's just another world. It's another world traveler, guy in another country, wants to offer his graphics help. Let me tell you, and it was great because he said, I'm sure you have that all covered. Hell no, I don't. I got one guy making graphics images. I got one guy. I would love any help you guys can bring. Now, the problem is not the problem is not bringing in volunteers. The problem is getting people in place and getting people trained and getting processes happening, and that's what we're scrambling to do, and that's what I can't do when I don't have Janine and when Celeste is working double time trying to do what she's got to do in Dallas and what we're trying to do here. It's just that we're at a point in the organization where we really need to get other people trained up to different levels, and we need your help. But that's where things get really, so first of all, yes, need your help, love your help, thank you so much. Yes. This is the way we do it. But I also want to say something else, and I'm just gonna say this because I can, but it was just a message dropped to me this morning. A group of independent broadcasters that we have used material from, that we have talked to, we've all connected on Facebook and other. and I'm not going to list their names yet because we haven't really formed this thing, okay? But in order to show solidarity amongst independent news, we are going to group together our news agencies, our efforts, and we are going to combine resources so that we can be an even louder voice. And this is a first step for us in like showing, and I will use this word. Well, no, I'm not going to. No, I'm just going to leave it at that. We're in the talks to begin that. That's this beautiful forming of a much more powerful independent news network comprised of several of some of your favorite individuals, many of whom you have mentioned and talked about in chat. And I'm just going to tease it with that because hopefully over the next few days we'll have a chance to get that settled and figure out what that means and put that into work. But this is all part of the resistance, folks. We are the resistance. What we're doing here is broadcasting the news from the revolution, along with others. But this is a war against our establishment. We are in the middle of a political revolution. Hi to all 167 plus of you, 738 playbacks, and Noah, Nico, it looks like we did not get dinged. We are still running. So that is good. I don't even have an end song picked up, but here's the deal. It's 10:22. I promised that I would stop before 10:30 so that I could go take care of some things I need to take care of so that I could be back at noon and we can broadcast and find streams, see what Iowa's doing and all that stuff. I think we covered a good portion of what we needed to for the show today. I wanted to talk about Frederick Douglass. I wanted to have Franz Whitfield on. I think it was great. We had great conversation with you guys, with Sean, who didn't really get to say much, but he was on, and Lou, who did get to do a rant. Everybody loves a Lou rant. So we're here. And Sean, before we go on this one, oh, I'm seeing you guys guessing already. Yes, I'll take editorials and commentary. Yes, and I'm not even, yeah. You guys are already guessing. Some of these things are already in. Absolutely. So
learn Slack, folks.
I will let each of you have a word if you want. You want to say a last word, Lou or Sean? Both? Lou?
Well, okay. I was only going to jump in and say, learn Slack, folks. That is the first and foremost thing. If you want to help around here, dip your toes in that pool. Guys,
if there's something you're good at, we can put you to work, pretty much.
Yeah. Speaking of comments, I did see one guy, and I just want to say this. Blake Griffin, if you're serious, man, from what you wrote, and you're really looking at your options on that side, welcome to the love train, my man. Welcome to the love train. Other than that, guys, we got T-minus 6 hours to let every single person you can possibly think of in Iowa know to get their asses to the polls so that we can win the first in the nation, first state, Iowa, tonight. It's going to be great. We'll all be able to celebrate then. Dr. Franz Whitfield's looking to. Everybody on chat's looking to. John's looking to. Let's get it done. Let's get the first one won. Go.
Keep going. Are you done? Go. Oh, did you put it over to me? All right. Sean, sorry, I was loading up the end song. I found an end song because I saw that somebody had requested this way earlier, and I forgot about it. Sean, your turn.
Well, I'm excited, and I've got the Moscow mules out ready to go with some ginger beer to celebrate. And yeah, we're gonna do it right tonight for sure.
Yes, and everybody's chatting. Yes, we will be celebrating. There will be dancing in the streets. Dancing in our chairs, dancing in the office, we're playing loud music. Absolutely. I have some special. They'll be loading up. Yeah. So definitely. I'm reading this. Yeah. Slack. Learn how to use Slack and Hangouts. Slack and Hangouts. We use Google Hangouts, folks. We can't actually. There's. It is the core component of everything we do along with Slack. Those two things. Learn those two things. We're good to go. Remember. This is about Iowa today. This is about all of us, okay? Not me. Us is the hashtag. Bernie Strong is the hashtag. There was another hashtag, and now I don't remember what it was.
Caucus for Bernie.
Caucus for Bernie, Iowa Caucus, all of these things. But we're lending our support to Iowa. We need the world to help blow up all of these trends and hashtags so we can keep Bernie Sanders rising. There's a great Bernie Sanders was already trending this morning, like 90K, and the hashtag, I don't know what's going on with the hashtag, we're with Hillary, or I'm with Hillary. There was something, no, stand with Hillary. This is freaking hilarious. Go take a look at stand with Hillary if it's still even around. It's not a lot of posts about it's not good. I think they tried to initiate a Stand With Hillary hashtag, and the burners just took it over. Like, stand with Hillary, you stand with Exxon, you stand with this company. It's absolutely beautiful. Find those things. Be active on social. We will be back at noon with everybody else. We're going to close with Bernie Bongos because somebody asked for it. And that's all it really takes. Except you guys probably want it framed pretty. And so you can see all of Bernie. All right, here we go. Bernie Bongos, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you back at noon, and we will continue the revolution together on YouTube as long as they let us do it.
Do the Bernie Bongo, talk with their hands, represent the people. Wanna punch Donald Trump in his big pie hole. Do the Bernie Bongo like a bald eagle. Bernie march for civil liberties with Dr. King. So do the Bernie Bongo like Ryan Gosling. Wealth inequality and greed are becoming obscene. Even Hillary Clinton is owned by banks on Wall Street. But Bernie doesn't take that corporate money. So do the Bernie Bongo like the Red Hot Chilies. Won't talk smack, but he packs a punch. No super PAC, cause he's not corrupt. All you dumb pundits who say Hillary won this, do the Bernie Bongo because Bernie just begun this. Do the Bernie Bongo, smash greedy banks like Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. Do the Bernie Bongo, with Steve Wozniak and Dan DeVito. People wanna bribe him, but he just says no. Bernie don't want your mother fracking dough. Stop burning fossils, go renewable, and do the Bernie Bongo like a freaking CEO. Hair is white, shirt is blue. Voted against the Patriot Act because he read it, fool. If you don't like getting spied on by the NSA, go do the Bernie Bongo like Ben and Jerry. Banks run amok, break them up. Government corruption, enough is enough. America, it's time to stand up. Just like Bernie Sanders' haircut. Do the Bernie Bongo, he's a humble hero like the Hobbit Frodo. On the Iraq War, Bernie voted no. Bernie's track record's better than Usain Bolt. Doesn't care about her servers or about his old age. All they'll say about servers, they deserve a fair wage. How can Hillary ever regulate the banks when she's always taking money from the banks backstage? Do the Bernie Bongo like Killer Mike and like Will Ferrell. If you're mad as hell and won't take it anymore, do the Bernie Bongo like Leo DiCaprio. Make weed legal, stop fraud in jail. The DPP is a bad deal, so join the rebels like Han Solo. He's our only hope cause he's not for sale. His mission is to end racism and for-profit prisons. A minimum standard of living for every citizen. Healthcare as a right, no more inflated prices. Kill ISIS, but the biggest threat is climate change crisis. Public college should be free and not a fantasy. So we got a plan to pass the tab to the thieves of Wall Street. We need paid family leave and child poverty. Gonna dominate the data like Ronda Rousey.
This great country and our government belong to all of the people and not just a handful of very wealthy.
I look forward to beating Donald Trump. I would enjoy that race very, very much.
We need an economy that works for the middle class, not just a handful of billionaires, and I will fight and lead to make that happen. At the end of the day, they may have the money, but we have the people, and when the people stand together, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish.
Huge